there are three initial conditions of our democracy which have not been addressed adequately. The first is very poor delivery of services. Even today, to get anything done, to get a birth certificate, an income certificate, a caste certificate for those who need reservations or something, a tax assessment, a water connection, a sewerage connection, a power connection, everything is excruciatingly painful, even today. 65 years ago, it was much more so. Now, our leaders should have done something to set that right. And quickly. That is doable. They failed to do so. They were all good people. Instead, they took the burden of somehow trying to do something in a dysfunctional system. That is the first failing. Second failing. The people, even today, do not understand what citizenship is about. The understanding of even the middle classes, educated Indians largely in the country is, I voted for you, you are now the new MLA or the MP. Now, I don't know what happens. That means you are the new Maharaja, you get things done. Like a Maharaja, your word must prevail, you get things done. Don't tell me anything about it. That's not citizenship. Nobody is elected as Maharaja. You have a system. The system must be made to function. Instead, now we invest this fellow with the power and we ask him to somehow deliver. No questions asked. And if the fellow actually tries to tell the people, look, this is not the way it's supposed to function, we get actually angry. No, we elected you. What is this? I don't know. Somehow get it done. And the fellow starts behaving like a Maharaja, and then we're angry. So either we choose a Maharaja or we don't. Do you want a representative or a Maharaja? Make up your mind. You can't have dualism. Even today, that's our perception. 60 years earlier, much more so. A third problem. These could have been addressed if we had actually transferred power to the community. Because, leadership would have emerged, bright young people would have come up, they would have shown an alternative path, and that example would have spread to other places. Over a period of time, people would have seen what worked, what didn't. And people always want good things, good outcomes eventually. Therefore, best practices would have been replicable. Instead, we centralized power, even today. Once we had three terrible problems, initial conditions never addressed adequately, the consequences followed. Take the first one, that nothing gets done. Even the smallest service which you're entitled to is excruciatingly painful. And therefore the pressure is on the legislator because now he's the new Maharaja. And he's the only fellow who will listen to you because he got your vote. He'll come back to you for the vote. The chaprasi will not listen to you. The municipal sweeper will not listen to you. The water supply board engineer will not listen to you. He'll say, but an MLA has to listen to you because the poor fellow wants your vote. He say, vote is sir. Sir. Truly, and rightly so. So what did these fellows do? Instead of improving the system to make delivery possible, they tried to take the burden on themselves and created a vast parallel infrastructure to try and get delivery. That means they required hundreds of people in each constituency to work for them, to get some petitions, to understand the grievances, to do something on a day-to-day basis, to go to this office, that office, to do what we call Pyravi in Hyderabad, this influence peddling. It had two consequences. One, you had to maintain a vast bureaucracy to get even minimal delivery. Now, who will pay for them? During freedom struggle, sacrifice was the natural order. Because, Mother India, Inquilab, Zindabad, the passion was enough for people to sacrifice. Some people even gave up their lives. But during ordinary, routine politics and government, to expect people to sacrifice to get some birth certificate for you, what about himself? What about his family? What about his upkeep? And once you had to really sustain this vast army, abuse of power and corruption were necessary to sustain it. The second part is, even if you really did all that, the delivery was only 10 or 15 on a scale of 100 because you haven't created a system that was functioning. You are trying to somehow work against the dysfunctional system to get some delivery. Therefore, there is always perpetual dissatisfaction.